Welcome back to episode 20. Jungkook paused in his quiet to take another drink of milk, lowering the glass and hesitantly looked at Taehyung. Tomorrow, Jungkook recited, feeling like a deer catch in highlights. Of course, Taehyung would have to leave if he was going back to his family, but the ever greater shocker was that word tomorrow. That wasn't right. Tomorrow was the sixth day when had his leave even came to be that close that Jungkook spoke before he could even properly gather his swirling thoughts. Wasn't part of our deal. Uh, it's no big deal. You have paid me more than enough with clothes and food also, so you don't have to give me that money. Taehyung said flippantly, smile wide on his lips and completely betrayed what he felt inside. I know this isn't very business-like, but when was I ever one to follow rules? Suddenly, relieved, Jungkook held up his hand. No, I will give you the money. But Jungkook laughed, fighting off the panic threatening to overtake him. And anyway, Taehyung continued as if Jungkook hadn't interrupted. You said you wanted me here until that thing, Bed Bugam, is over, and you clearly turned that to no, Jungkook said quickly. It surprised him and made him snap his jaw shut. Jungkook got up and hastily walked over to the cot and he had hung up, reaching in his pocket. This isn't over. Bugam just left me a message today. He wants me to contact him tomorrow. Jungkook held the contact information up as he walked back over to Taehyung. The raven's eyes flickered from the paper to Jungkook's face uncomfortably until the brunette was sitting next to him again. You still don't need me around, Taehyung pushed. Jungkook sighed, running a hand through his hair. Aren't you rushing into this? Jungkook asked gently, tossing the piece of paper onto the coffee table and turning his full towards Taehyung. I am happy you are going back to your family, I am, but I mean, you don't even know what will happen yet, and I'm sorry for bringing that up. That religion something that's going to encourage you, but just in case it goes bad, what will you do? Then go back to Mina. That intense gaze was making Taehyung want to scream. Minho isn't that bad, Taehyung joked weakly. You know what I mean, Jungkook asked pointedly. And I don't do it with everyone, Also, whether you like it or not, that's where I live. Taehyung spoke with a vigor, leaving no room for argument as he pressed on. If my parents reject me, are you planning on paying me more money to stay here? If that's what it takes, fine. And that place is not safe. Jungkook agreed, immediately realizing that was the wrong thing to say just by the look on Taehyung's face. What am I? Some charity case? You going to buy me a house while you are at it? Taehyung exclaimed, standing up. I will deal with my problems on my own, and while I'm doing that, why don't you learn that money can't solve everything? They said. Jungkook stood up off the couch in pursuit when the raven turned and headed towards the bedroom. I don't think that. Jungkook insisted, catching Taehyung's shoulder and holding on until he reluctantly turned back around. I'm just trying to help you. Then drop me off at my parents' house tomorrow. You said you were off work, right? Taehyung asked, crossing his arm. He tried to hide the fact that he was shaking. Why did Jungkook have to be insisted on Taehyung's staying? It wasn't fair. It kept giving Taehyung hope, and that just made it hurt all more. Jungkook took it in a deep breath, trying to calm his nerves. He really wasn't good with arguments, but he had to try. However, while collecting himself, Taehyung had stumblingly turned his head towards the kitchen so that the light slipped over both cheeks. The pale skin on his left cheek was bruised. It wasn't much, but a light purple hue danced along his cheekbone. Jungkook lifted his hand to brush his fingers over it on instinct, making Taehyung jump and turn towards Jungkook. The bruising was once again hidden in darkness. How do you get it? Get that? Jungkook asked, going completely off topic. Taehyung had not looking in mirror all day, but was immediately aware of Jungkook is talking about. That's not what we are talking about, Taehyung remarked, shoving Jungkook's hand away from his face. Are you going to drop me off tomorrow or not? A little miffed by the obvious avoidance, Jungkook sighed, bringing his hand up and rubbed at the nape of his neck. I am not going to give you anything that you don't want. Anything. If you don't want money, fine. If you don't want my health, that's fine too. Jungkook promised slowly. He felt like he was walking on hot coals. All he knew was he didn't want Taehyung to leave yet. The way the bonnet said hang low made Taehyung feel guilty. He bit his lips, trying not to get caught up in the man's rhythm. It was a far too easy thing to do. I just didn't want to see you out on the streets. You deserve more than that. You Jungkook trailed off, leaving Taehyung to hear the sound of his heart beating fast in the silence. One more day. I will take you anywhere you want as a thank you, if nothing else. For being my therapist, Jungkook replied with a smile. A small, hopeful, crooked grin. Taehyung stared at the floor, knowing that what he should do and what he wouldn't wanted to do were two opposite things. Jungkook felt highly awkward standing there in silence, his pleat hanging in the air like a cloud. I will stay, Taehyung muttered, making Jungkook sing in relief. Depending on how you answer this question, Jungkook grew still again as Taehyung's eyes pinned him down. Yes. Grew still again as Taehyung's eyes pinned him down. Yes, Jungkook asked timidly. Tomorrow, am I going out with you as a fake lover or friend? Jungkook blinked, letting the question seep into his brain. Taehyung looked like he was examining him from head to toe, waiting for a reaction, and it made Jungkook feel nervous. Fake love or a friend sounded wrong on his tongue, but this was a serious question, and Jungkook suddenly felt horrible about what it was implying. Jungkook didn't want a war; he just wanted Taehyung as a friend. Jungkook answered firmly. Taehyung stared for a moment longer before holding out his hand, palm facing up. Jungkook gazed, slid down carelessly, then pay me. Now, tomorrow I am not here for work. I am just hanging out with a friend. Then Jungkook laughed, going in search of his wallet while Taehyung was still unsure of himself. This was dangerous territory. However, hadn't he Jungkook about taking risk as he felt the one being placed in his hand. He figured he would take his own advice. It was one more day to gather his thoughts and calm his nerves about going home, and one more day to spend freely with the man they came to love. If Jungkook could manage breathing one day to gather his thoughts and calm his nerves about going home, one day more to spend freely with the man him to love. If Jungkook could manage braving his fear of heights by walking across the balcony. Taehyung could dip his foot in the water. He wanted to. He was just wouldn't regret it. Thank you. Welcome. And then there was a short silence, but where both of them found themselves tongue-tied. It was silly. It wasn't like anything had been drastically changed, but either were sure of how the to act on their new situation. I think I will go take a bubble bath. Taehyung spoke briefly, b- breaking the silence with a small grin. And I'm sure you know I want blue crepe tomorrow. Jungkook smiled. Yeah, no problem, the burner replied as they walked to the bathroom. When the door closed, Jungkook closed his eyes and swam his head back, exhaling deeply. Jungkook made his way back to the couch, popping down on the cushion and staring at nothing in particular. Friends, Jungkook thought. Jungkook's eyes catch something on the ground and he leaned forward to pick it up. Peter Button pocket stick was thrown in the garbage second later, slowly slipping away from slumber. Jungkook opened his blurry eyes and the room was quiet and filled with the dim lights of morning. The bed suddenly terribly comfortable. Why did bed seem so heavenly after you wake up? He was just about to let his eyelids sleep close again until he realized something was missing, something with gorgeous coffee eyes and a snaky attitude. Jungkook sat up, looking around the room in rush, no sign of the raven. He wouldn't just leave, would he? Jungkook thought, and he, in panic, shot off the bed and took wide steps onto the living room because Taehyung very well could have left. He had gotten his money, hadn't he? Jungkook really didn't want to believe that Taehyung promised to stay at least for today. Well, they would. They had never really promised, per se. Jungkook's lips thinned as he glanced around the living room. The door to the balcony was open. Taking a deep breath, Jungkook walked over it, his body deflated the moment he laid eyes on Taehyung leaning against the banister side cheese. Jungkook thought briefly, crossing his arm tightly. He willed himself to calm down. If Taehyung had run off, if really wouldn't have been a big surprise. That brief money exchange last night cut the last chain holding Taehyung here. If they had gone to his parents' house or even back to Manoj, it wouldn't be a big deal. Taehyung turned around to that moment, noticing his presence. Good morning, Jungkook. Taehyung spoke with his smiling eyes, with a suddenly heavy chest. Jungkook returned the greeting, thought his though his thoughts continued to stray. Was this going to be the last good morning he would hear from the raven? No, what was Jungkook thinking? It was silly, acting like Taehyung was going to walk off the face of the earth. He would be right in this very town. They could even meet up if they ever wanted and hang out or something. Time escaped. They were having fun in the downtown as per Taehyung's suggestion. They wanted to show Jungkook a day out of luxury. Taehyung felt his stomach rumble. Hey, when do I get my blue crab? Taehyung inquired. Blue crab, this is the free of luxury. Why would you want to get something with such expensive days? Jungkook exclaimed dramatically. Taehyung's jaw dropped before it snapped shut and his eyebrows narrowed. Jungkook, it was a warning, lashed an amusement that made Jungkook laugh warmly. Taehyung snickered as he looked around the lavish restaurant they sat in. He had to admit they looked slightly out of the place, dressed as casually as they were. The stairs were nothing compared to the ones they had received at the hotel in the sorts. However, it didn't matter though, because the waiter brought his oblong crab to their table. Jungkook ordered some kind of beef cob or whatever. The Burnett insisted they to try it, but he highly doubted it would be better than the pink meat they was soaring in his mouth at that moment. How did something just melt on his tongue like that? The table, Jungkook widely watched the raven with smiling eyes. Every time Taehyung took a hold, his expression went all heavenly, and it was ex- extremely cute. Good. Jungkook was needlessly very. Taehyung agreed, leaning his elbow on the table and sculled over the plate without a care. Jungkook held back the urge to tell Taehyung to sit correctly. Beta, Jungkook signaled when a man in black suit was walking by. Could I get a mimosa, please? I bet that's a really sugary peach drink. Taehyung accused. It's champagne and orange juice mixed together. I can survive without sugar, Jungkook retorted. Taehyung hummed, looking skeptical. Don't know about that. Hey, are you alright with being here like this? Taehyung was glancing to his side, noticing some of the waiters watching them, probably thinking they might be the eat and run type as they were dressed not like rich people. Jungkook picked up his glass of water and smiled against his rim. What do you mean? Jungkook was taking a sip. I mean, not exactly following the dress code you of a rich. We would have been entirely out of place if we were at the arcade in slacks and dress shoes. Something he had to guess somewhere, and you're not helping by the way you are sitting, Jungkook replied. Taehyung looked surprised for a second, looking down to his elbows with a serious grin. Taehyung made them off the table and sat straight. Jungkook grinned in response, but they, what do I? But hey, why do I care? Like you said earlier, it doesn't matter where you are, it's who you are with. With that, Jungkook purposely leaned his elbow on the table, pretending to not even notice Taehyung's widen eyes before turning attention back. Taehyung nearly left the need to skim at the warmth he felt soar through his chest. That was the second time the man had listened carefully to Taehyung's advice and then threw it right back at Taehyung in a way that took the raven's breath away. His fingers curled up in his lap. Taehyung's mouth opened, but no answer came. The move completely missed by Jungkook when the waiter suddenly returned with Jungkook's mimosa. Taehyung turned his burning face down to his plate and hastily took another hold. What the heck was he even thinking about saying just then? Nothing good for his heart, Taehyung was sure. Damn it, now he was just frustrated. He tried his best to shake it off. I will be right back, Jungkook announced, glancing at the watch. Now At the high noon, it seems a more appropriate time to contact Bugam, as Jungkook had to contact Bugam, but he didn't do it in the morning. Jungkook wanted the conversation to be private for many different reasons. Don't go running off. I still want to take you a few places. One with one side of his lips curled up. Same goes to you, Jungkook replied, standing up, just remembering this morning when he woke up to Taehyung missing made him want to frown. Raised an eyebrow, but Jungkook continued on venturing. Leaning against a marble counter, Jungkook took his phone out and pressed the appropriate the ringing that followed with him anxious. What could the man possibly have to say? To be continued with the next episode. What do you think? What is gonna happen next? Comment it down, and thanks a lot for liking this story. Bye bye.